Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, we're here today because tough on crime policies have failed to deliver on their promises, or depending on how you see things, they have delivered on their promises. Just 40 years ago, 329,000 people were incarcerated in America. Today, there are 1.46 million people locked up. And on any given day, 60,000 of those people are under the age of 18. Here in Oregon, there are more than 1,300 children in prison, and we have one of the highest youth incarceration rates in the country. Only Nebraska, Wyoming, and South Dakota have higher rates. And we have to ask ourselves, what has that delivered for us? And as far as I can tell, not very much. These kids are not being rehabilitated while they're locked up in prison. They're being traumatized and put into a lifelong cycle of incarceration. And to put a fine point on it, kids who go through state prisons are rearrested 82% of the time. And so as we consider this bill today, I believe that what we have is a balanced approach that will restore sanity to the way we treat kids who go through our criminal justice system. I believe we can do better. I believe that allowing judges to make decisions about whether or not a crime rises to the level of an adult court and an adult sentence only makes sense. And despite my kids' pleadings, kids are not little adults. And you can look at my desk and you can see me here, especially on a Saturday, if we make it on Saturdays, that I'm a parent. I'm a mom of 4 little squirrely kids. And one story that, reminds me of how personal this is that this weekend I bought my 15-year-old son, who would be subjected to these laws, his first big boy suit. And we looked everywhere for the appropriate suit and ended up at Men's Warehouse, so you automatically know I spent way too much money. But he, as he was getting dressed, I got a little teary-eyed because I realized that he was transitioning. He was still a little boy, but he was transitioning into a grown-up world that was waiting to receive him. And I hope that as he goes forward, he makes the right decision every single time, because there's a prison bed waiting for him. You already heard the statistics. It's waiting, it's right there, it's ready, the covers are there. He eats us out of house and home. He mumbles all of his communication to us. He keeps his room as a disaster zone, but I love him infinitely, just as I love every other little 15-year-old black boy in this state, and every other child in this state. And I believe in their promise and their potential despite their mistakes. And one of my main reasons for getting up every morning and serving in this legislature, despite the fact that I don't get to sleep here in Salem every night I drive home, but it is to promote the betterment of the lives of all of the children in our state and the country. And my faith tells me that kids deserve, for the most part, a second chance. They deserve an opportunity to be redeemed instead of being thrown into a justice system that allows them to languish and to harden into criminals. The last thing that I want to share with you is that I derive a great amount of strength from Senator Winter's leadership and from her devotion to fighting for a better, more fair system in our state. She put years of effort into this, and I think she would be proud of our efforts. I wish she could be here today to witness this monumental vote and the movement of this landmark legislation. It's not lost on me that she
Representative Gomberg yields his time.
It's not lost on me that she's battling with other things, and I think that nothing happens by chance, but I think she left the torch for us to carry on this side and to carry it loud and proud. We know that this vote is a big deal. That's why we're all here. My bedtime timer went off. This vote means that there's justice for our children, and that we believe in the capacity for redemption and reformation. So today, colleagues, I ask you to join me in voting yes. Yes for all of the little kids who are getting their first big boy suit. Thank you.